another is the for inviting me for this summit. Friends, as you know, the challenge in logistics becomes all the more complex if we deal with animate objects. And what are the two most important animate objects that we deal in our life? In fact, the whole life is dependent on these two factors, that is water and food. Let's take water first. Water, as we consume today, it comes in two forms. One is the potable drinking water that we get, and other is the both have different standards, and both today face enormous challenges in terms of supply chain management, in terms of logistics, in terms of the length with which water has to travel before it reaches the glass that you consume in or the bottle that you consume in. That part one of the story. Our groundwater is getting polluted, and with the result, the base on which the water quality is determined is also compromised. So biggest challenge that remains is how to clean the already polluted water. At the same time, the rivers that have been polluted for years together need to be cleaned so that the base water that is available for cleaning purposes in the municipal corporations all across the country is of reasonable standard, so that the cost incurred for cleaning is reasonable. It is increasingly becoming a challenge. Part two of the issue starts from the point that the water is cleaned, that is chlorinated, and all impurities are removed. The water channels that are available all across the cities also pass through a myriad of environment, and ultimately the water that you get in the tap in your home, it would be very difficult for anybody to certify that water you are consuming is of national standard. And by the way, national standard today is the global standard. That is BIS, which is 2012 standard, which is almost aligned with the global standard of water. Now, if we compound this with problem with the packaged drinking water, the kind of factories, the kind of places where the packaged drinking water is actually packaged and reaches your table or your mouth, again that becomes a challenge. If you go in the city on the highways, you would realize water bottles are hanging outside exposed to sunlight. What happens? The leaching of microplastics into water results in you consuming those very microplastic material. So the standard which is available at the time of production or packaging changes at the consumer end. So storage conditions determine the ultimate quality of water. And if you are using the bottle again, the plastic bottle again and again and again, the likelihood of leaching of microplastics into water increases tremendously. And mind you, these microplastics are carcinogenic. So the likelihood of getting cancer by repeated consumption of water, seemingly safe water, can become unsafe. I leave the story here regarding water. Let me take the story of food and logistics is so important in food. When we talk of food safety, can we forget that India is facing dual jeopardy? We have the world's most malnourished individuals. There's a percentage of the population. At the same time, we are #1 producer of food products across categories. If you say we are the proud top 5 countries in the world to produce a range of food products in the world. Yet, substantial amount of food get wasted. If you say, for example, for fruits, to the extent of 40% of fruits produced in our country is wasted because we do not have appropriate logistics to transport, store, and sell. How crucial it becomes. Something which could be a revenue generator, could be an export potential, gets wasted because we do not have a transport logistics, storage logistics available in our country. 40% of the fruits produced. If you go to the market, local market, and see the apples, what apples you see? They are Washington apples. Do you see Kashmir apples? Do you see Kinnaur apples? Hardly anywhere in the market you would find. Why? Because we do not have logistics. You could get palm from Central Asia. You could get kiwi fruit from Australia, New Zealand. You could get huge number of oranges from Thailand and number of fruits from even Latin America, Spain. And that's available in your local market, and it's available in our homes. If you just see the fruit basket today, it consists of huge proportion of imported. If you go to e-commerce website for fruits, you find huge number available at very, very reasonable cost. Why? Because we have not been able to provide appropriate logistics support for storage and transport of fruits. I've taken up fruits as number one, vegetables, another story, staple, grains, whether it's rice or wheat, the story gets repeated. The major wastage in wheat is not due to our farmers not producing enough wheat. Major wastage is in terms of wastage during transport and storage. So you can imagine how crucial it is that we build a backbone of good quality storage infrastructure and logistics, transport logistics, to ensure that the right kind of food reaches at the right place with the right temperature and at the right price. So all this wastage gets built into the price, and the price of Indian product becomes higher and the imported products becomes lower. With the result, consumer prefers to buy imported products, and we fail to export our products in the global market, in spite of being in the top 5 in these areas. Now that's water and food. Now we take up in transit, in transport, whether we're traveling on road or in river, or in airlines or in train. Food safety becomes a crucial issue because of the complexity of the problem getting compounded as the distance from the time that the raw product is manufactured and actually consumed, the stages with which it passes through, the number of hands organization passes through, it makes a Herculean task in a tropical country to ensure that the food that you eat actually is of the taste and quality which you desire to have. Just see an airport kitchen and see a railway kitchen, see a bus stand kitchen or restaurant, private restaurant, and leave aside kitchen in the ships that you travel in. So you can imagine the challenge that we have in addition to the raw material challenge that we already have. But we have a system of actually ensuring global standards in food safety with the advent of Food Safety and Standard Act being passed in 2005 by Parliament, and 2011 onwards regulation being in place, and Food Safety and Standard Authority coming into its being in 2011. 2011 onwards, our standards are globally aligned, our testing protocols are globally aligned. With the result, things have started improving because this feedback of food quality logistics gets fed into the production base. With the result, the food business operators today are empowered to modify their logistics of storage, procurement, and selling based on the testing protocol, which is globally aligned today. Now, as a result of this infrastructure ecosystem coming in, what has happened is that we are now giving, I'd say, value for money, and also as a fallout, if you see globally now, Haldiram, Sarvana Bhavan, number of Indian brands are available across outside the country. The export potential has improved. If we have to say Patanjali, how it grew only because of huge investment in food safety, investment in science of food, together with huge logistics investment. Patanjali brand could head-on take up Unilever only through these two strategies. It was not food. Food was already there. What it invested in? Food safety, quality system being built all across the logistics chain, and that get built into a brand. And brand can never be a local brand in today's world. Brands are now global brands. Because of the e-commerce coming in, all brands are equal, whether it's a US brand or Indian brand. And you've seen how we are giving value for, I would say, head-on, we are taking up McDonald's and all other global giants in our country as well as abroad. If you go to UK, you find 2 stores selling equal amount of food. How it has happened? It has happened because of logistics investment in a most challenging environment. Food remains the most challenging thing to actually store, procure, transport, and deliver. Because the ultimate, whenever you make the recipe, 2 recipes can never be the same. 2 products from the same recipe can never be the same. So it's individual art built into logistics, ultimately delivers good quality. But if we break that into food safety standards, into chemicals, you really find how easy it is to actually deliver good quality food and water at reasonable cost. That's what we have given to the world. Cost which is reasonable, quality which is global, and ultimately the consumer, irrespective of he being an Indian or an American or a British national, he is able to have confidence because of the WTO and because of the agreement that we have. We are now actually delivering global quality at local prices also. So this is the message that I wanted to give. And we, I as a food regulator on behalf of Food Safety Standard Authority of India for railways also, am confident because the testing that we've done is reasonably assured that all the consumers could be that the food they're eating is safe. They're not going to get disease. Not besides that, whatever is consumed during transit in trains or in aeroplanes, ultimately you should feel satisfied. So it's not only food safe food, it is tasty food as well. So both, and if you add reasonable pricing, can anybody beat that? Go to US and you travel. Imagine the food that the price that you have to pay while traveling in a train in US, or most of the time it's not available. If it is available, it's very high cost. In India, the same or a higher quality is available at very reasonable cost. So my confidence is that this is going to improve further because pricing is going to be more reasonable because the investment that Government of India has made in improving the logistics in terms of fruits, vegetables, the temperature, long-term, I'd say, cold chain infrastructure that is coming up in the next few years, it will get further strengthened from the places where it is produced and the places where it is stored. It will ensure better preservation of fruits and vegetables and grains. With the result, the prices will remain under control and you will still get good quality food and water because of investment in logistics and infrastructure. I again thank ELITS to have focused on this crucial sector, which ultimately shall be the game changer for the economy. Thank you so much.